Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio live stream. Going to be a couple of topics in this essay. One is about universities and the other about rewriting novels. In fact, I might start with the rewriting of the novels. So here's a reasonably well-known novelist. They've written a number of books, and some of them have been turned into movies. So now, when the movies were first getting made, from these books, from the novels, being based on the novel, they were being made in the the 70s, and the characters were all straight white males, and that was that the movies made followed the character outlining that was put in the novel. And so the book and the novel, rather the novel and the movie were quite close. There were some things they took out that would have been hard to put in a movie, but generally it was pretty close. And again, straight white males, sort of top to bottom. Now, as the 90s, and particularly as more the 2000s sort of came on, they either were doing remakes of those movies or were looking at some of the other books the novelist wrote. So in one book, there's, you could say, 10 main characters, and again, all sort of either white people or straight white males, straight white females. But when it was made, I think it was 2008, this particular one I'm looking at, there was, out of the 10 leading characters, 5 of them were turned into minorities. So the head of a particular civil service department was a black guy, very unconvincing in the role, by the way. The head of another or two civil service departments were white women, one of whom was a lesbian, the other one who had an absolute useless, deadbeat, stupid moron husband. And in the book, by the way, it was the guy who had the stupid moron wife, the straight white guy. So they switched that, and another one was another white guy. Another white guy was turned into a straight white guy was turned into a homosexual, and then there was another guy who I think was Arabic, was inserted in there. And then in the second tier of characters, they changed quite a few of those to be, Pakistani and Islamic and all that sort of stuff. So of the 5 main guys, the other 5 leading characters, one was a straight white female. She was left alone, but they added in a little bit of that she was like a single mum and all that sort of thing. So they threw a bit of that in there that wasn't in the book. And then another one of the guys was turned into a homosexual. So that was so really only 3 of the characters in terms of being straight white males were left untouched in the making of this movie. Now, the main sort of baddie guy was turned into a caricature of evil. He's evil because he doesn't respect women, and he's a bigot and a racist and all this. So they just sort of throw that in there just to really juice up his wickedness and badness. And he's probably a Nazi. He might even be Hitler, actually. So now they did the same thing with another one of this guy's books that was made in the movie. A straight white couple, who are the main players. She's converted into a black woman. In the book, he's some high-powered whatever, and then she's like a kindergarten teacher or something. But they switch it around. So in the movie, she's the black woman's the high-powered kid, and he's the kindergarten teacher. And so they switch a few of the other characters around. Some of the main characters are again changed to being minorities. and the main good guy is they still keep him as white but change him to gay. He's now gay. So these are the sort of things they do. Now I don't know why they just can't leave it alone. That's the novel, how it was written. Now if they want to make movies with all black characters or all, I don't know, Japanese characters, Asian characters, I don't care. I mean, if you get a novel written by a Japanese guy or a Chinese guy or an African guy, and then make a movie about that. And if it's all black people in there, I don't mind. If it's set in Africa, then I expect to see a lot of black people. And if it's set in Japan, I expect to see a lot of Japanese people. And I'm fine with that, by the way. I got no problem with it. But I don't know why the only people that have to make way for minorities or make way for others are white people. I don't know why the globalists want that in particular. Why aren't they forcing Africans into Japan or Africans into China? Why aren't they forcing all sorts of other people into India or something? Why isn't that happening? Why is it only white countries that have to have this diversity and inclusion forced? And it is forced upon them. I don't get that. Anyway, coming now to the university, which the university thing, there's been a real uptick in adverts at the moment. Every time I go online, there's an advert. Sometimes every few minutes, another advert will pop up on YouTube promoting Australian universities. Now, you'd think from the adverts that there's not a single white person anywhere in a university anywhere in Australia, that everybody is female and or black or brown or whatever. But there's no straight white guys. I mean, there's some very very gay looking white guys in background, but and all the shots, the up close shots, are of smiling black and brown women, and you look at these adverts, one after the other, and you'd think, if you had someone to come from outer space, you look at it and say, gee whiz, wonder why no white men go to university. That's what you think from the advertising. Now I don't know if they've got a shortage of women or the government's leaning on them to gin up the amount of women, or to make it more appealing to women. According to statistics, like 61% of the students in Australian universities are female, so it can't be an issue of equal outcomes, or I wouldn't think so with those sort of numbers. So I don't know what's going on there. The Australian government's far more inclined to write off the student debt of female students than they are of male students. Maybe there's something there. But if female students are already in the majority, and if non-white students are already in the majority in Australia, what is it they're trying to do? What are they attempting to achieve? Have even fewer white people, have no white people going to university, make it illegal for straight white males to get a higher education. Maybe they should do something like that. But I don't know what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. The adverts, like most adverts we see, don't reflect any reality. And as well as adverts that for any consumer goods now that I see, it's rarely do you see a white couple with white children. It's either a white couple with black children, it seems a bit odd, or it's a white woman with a black or dark husband or boyfriend or partner. Don't see it the other way around so much, but that's obviously the narrative that they're attempting, and the brainwashing they're attempting to push. But there's more and more adverts now seem to be coming in on YouTube. I notice it even more, that there's so few white people. You'd think you're in a country that had few, if any, white people, and it's really strange. And goodness knows what they're doing. It's obviously being signed off on at the highest levels. Advertising agencies, governments. You can tell where governments have been given money to the advertising agencies to do propaganda, because you're lucky to see any white person. If you do see a white person, it's a bad white guy being shown the proper way to behave by a black man, which is how it is in the real world, of course. You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.